box. This is a test. This is only a test. I am a member of the organization formerly known as Support Our Troops Committee, Arts for Vets. I am going to skip to number 3. In 2016, my services that were provided for me for the last 12 years at Stratton, VA came to a screeching halt in January 2016. And no, I had no idea what to do with myself. So 3 members sat around and had coffee, and we figured out that we're going to create our own group. It became Arts for Vets, just like that. And then we've developed it, and we became a member of the American Legion's Zaloga Post. We are now a committee within that. We have grown, and we are doing great and wonderful things. Number 4. And some people have a problem with the use of mental health. Please disregard it. If it could be medical, it could be anything. If you enjoy coming for whatever reason, don't think of it as therapy, please. Number 4. What drew you to Arts for Vets? In my case, I actually was the one that created it, so that's not a fair question. But be thinking about how you even found out about our organization. Did somebody tell you? I believe I remember a conversation that I had a bag on my shoulder, and a person in the elevator said, "Oh, I've heard about this organization. When do you guys meet? Tell me more." It was just that simple, word of mouth, or having our t-shirts on, carrying a bag, something that tells us who we are. Was this therapy good for you? Absolutely. When I was in the VA, we not only did art therapy, we did creative expression, we did current events, music therapy. We had the Vets of Albany Choir and the Bell Choir individual and group therapy sessions. We were able to pick up the HHV craft kits. All that was disbanded. Now, if anybody happens to get music therapy, they have 12 sessions, and then they are discharged according to your records at the VA system. How did you find Arts for Vets, and how do you feel about joining? We have people join all the time for different reasons. I would say the most common is that they want to get together with other veterans, and they're looking for a place to call their home. They're looking for their tribe, is what I like to say. Doesn't necessarily have anything to do with art therapy or music therapy. We just happen to provide that service. And Heather will talk more about that, as well as Christine Ray, our actual therapist. How did you find art therapeutic? Recently, we just had a scribble kind of thing where we were given a very basic thing to let everything go and just draw lines. If you see my shirt, for instance, that's kind of like what it would look like when it was done. You just maybe put some music on the background and just let it go. Let your mind go. Don't think about anything. Pay attention to how your body is feeling. Did it change? Do you have tension in your back or wherever it usually shows up? It's a mind, body, soul connection. How has the art served for therapy over your overall health? Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily stick with me all the time. It's like I need to be recharged, and my body has come accustomed to it, to include things like paddling, kayaking, horse therapy, dance. I might get up and just dance. This morning while I was waiting for everybody to come on, I literally, and I'll show you after this, there's a TV screen, and I did a little performance. I had fun for 3 minutes when they tried to make a whack out of me. What is it about the process and the connections while you're doing it? In my case, I am very in tune with the process. I document everything. You can find me on Penley Maiden Enlightenment. Again, nobody will use their own names. I have no problem with it. And under the discussion that this is going to be a piece of paper that she writes, she won't use any names. Just that Arts for Vets. Let me see how we're doing. Okay, and what's the difference when you see a final product? A lot of times people say, well, it's not done yet. And then they keep adding to it. And the reason I ask people to actually document it along the way is maybe they end up adding too much. But you still have the one that was 5 or 6 steps behind. Kind of keep that in mind. But the whole process is all about that, where Heather, our therapist, will ask you, and it's hard to pin down. It's we're not used to thinking like that about how we're feeling about our art. Most of us don't even like our own art until other people tell you it's worth looking at. What was it like to have your art in DC? This is a whole new ballgame. For our art to be at the Military Memorial is huge, at Dulles Airport, and 7 different other locations in Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. area. It just got back and it's not done traveling yet. We are on our way to Newburgh, where I have communicated with David Lionheart. He is a professional artist and he is putting our art on display alongside his, which is about veteran trauma. So the reason it's going to coincide nicely with his piece is he's showing what trauma looks like. We're showing what life looks like after trauma. And then we're not done yet. We continue to travel. We're going to be in Albany Barn. And then the big finale for this year for Arts for Vets is we have been in existence for 5 years and we are going to celebrate. And so I very much like to hear from everybody on how we could make a nice celebration come November at Create Community Studios with Heather Hutchinson. They actually came in existence at the same exact time. Heather and I talked all about this program and us being a collaborative effort prior to Create Community Studios and our therapy being online. It's all coming together full circle. And I personally am very proud. I'm going to stop recording at this time. You guys can give me any feedback. Do not freak out that I'm Johnny on the spot and I can hear it. All I'm asking you to do is take some time and write all this down. So when you are recorded, you can shoot from the hip, so to speak, or if something else comes up while you're talking. The other thing that you can expect is I'm going to be on the line with you, and say if you get stumped, I might ask you a pointed question to lead you in the right direction on purpose. Again, your camera is off and she'll have her camera off, so you don't have to, it's just like talking to me. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop recording.